Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. This is MyCollectables. I wanted to make a video and just share some of my thoughts about where we are in the Veve app right now and why it's a good thing that we're not able to actually cash out at this point. I really want to know what you think as well, so after my video, please put in the comment section below what you think about what I said. I want to get the discussion going and get, a sense of what the community and what you think about, not being able to cash out our collectibles at this time yet, and why I think it's actually not a bad thing at all. Okay, so let me just get right into it. These are just my thoughts. I don't have a presentation or anything like that, or stats, about which collectible to buy or anything. I just think in general, that it's a good thing right now that we aren't able to cash out. We aren't able to sell off all of our stuff and get money out of the app. And I know that sounds a bit weird, right? That might sound crazy to some people, but I actually think it's a really great opportunity to not be able to do that. One of the reasons why, okay, I'll start with my first reason why, is that we're actually able to build our collection, right? We're able to build our collection in a really strong environment, okay, where people aren't just cashing out and flipping stuff and having the markets go up and down crazily as people sell off whatever they can sell off, maybe take their profits and then come back in, right? Right now we're in an actual enclosed environment where there's only finite amount of collectibles that we can get. The numbers are rising in regards to how many users we have every day, and the amount of collectibles to go around is shrinking, right? Even though they add these new drops, we're talking about the big stuff, right? So basically, you're getting a chance right now to grab the big items, before, the future comes when people, start to really get to the app and they really start to go after the big items. So this is kind of like the early days where we're able to get our hands on these first appearances, before other people. And the great thing about that is that they're going up in value because it's a closed system, right? If people were able to cash out and just, acquire one off the drop, ride it up to a little bit and then completely dump it, the value of these items wouldn't be going quite as high yet, right? But because people can't do that, people are holding on to them. It's in the app. The value of them is going up immensely, and by the time we get to the point where we're actually able to cash out, some of these items are going to be so high in value, and there'll be so many users to the app that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to get a lot of really great paydays out of it, right? And other people are going to want to buy in, okay? For me, think of it this way. I don't know about you guys, but and you and ladies as well. I actually, I'm on OpenSea quite a bit, and I buy and sell NFTs on OpenSea. If you want to see some of the ones that I collect and I've gone after, you can go to my Instagram page. I usually post the ones that I get in my collection, and there you'll see ones that I bought, that I've had in my collection. I've sold some of them too. And you know what happens with the OpenSea marketplace? If you're in that environment, right? A new project comes out and people jump all over it, and then a lot of people, they get in early, on the drop type thing, on the mint, and they actually acquire one or just after when it first releases, like we do in the marketplace, and then they ride up the price a little while and then they dump and they take their profits, right? And this cycle can go on and on for a week or two on a project, and some projects completely die out, and some projects just they recover from these dips and then they go really high, right? So think of it in regards to, say, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? So that's one of the most famous NFTs in the world, of course, right? And the value is super high right now, right? Of course. So think of it in the Veve app right now. The way I look at it is we have a chance to be grabbing these Bored Ape Yacht Club type collectibles, like the Golden Moments and the Todds and the Supermans and all that stuff, before any of this kind of crazy market fluctuation where people can cash out, where they can just dump it and right after they've made some profits and stuff like that. And that is actually really, really good for building the strength of the collectibles in the app. It's really smart on Veve, actually, and some people would say, well, Veve's just taking all the money in and that's why they're doing it. Well, no, when that kind of a system comes, they're going to be making money on all the transactions, right? So, and there's going to be a lot more transactions when that comes. But the collectibles that are at the highest level, they're going to actually still be at that high level, and they're going to be really hard to get into. So right now, if you're lucky enough to be in Veve, you're actually building that unbelievable collection that a lot of people are not not going to be able to get into, right? They're going to be seeing them at the top, and they're going to be like, wow, I wish I had like one of those. Like, I wish I had the Todd, or whatever, right? And there's going to be like those Bored Apes that are at the top there, or the crypto punks, they're like right at the top, and then new stuff's going to drop, and people are going to get in on that. And what you'll see is this crazy market fluctuation right after that. So, that's really what I think is like one of the best parts about being kind of forced to like hold on to your stuff within the app. Another thing that I think is really cool about this is that, the value clarification of an item, how much it's worth in the marketplace in this closed system is actually quite quick. If you'll notice on OpenSea, like with a project, for example, in another NFT space, it usually takes about a couple weeks for you to really see if a project has value or not, if people are really going to hold on to it or keep going with it. In Veve, because we're in this closed system, it only takes a day or so for us to actually see that true value right off the start. If an item is going to be something that people really want, it doesn't actually take very long, right? It takes a while for it to actually go up, right? Like we've seen with this Batman and with the Killer Croc that, it's already decently valued, only a day or two after the drop. I think it's like 1,200 gems. And, in another environment, for example, if people could cash out, think about it. They would have gotten an item on the drop. They would have rose it up a little bit, maybe 500-600 gems, and then they would have probably sold it and cashed out, and people would have been chasing that project up like FOMO, right? Because that's what happens on the OpenSea. And then they would buy in at 500, then it would go to 800, and some people would then cash out and take those 300 gems. Like it would be a really, really liquid process, like a really, really transitional. And then you would see an item go up and down and up and down, and it would take a while, right? So that could happen in Veve in the future. But right now, that doesn't happen. An item comes out, there's only so many of them, people know it, they grab them, they're usually not flipping them right away, they're usually like, holding on to them, because they know long term it's going to go up and up and up. And so like I said, we're in this like great moment in Veve in the beginning where we're able to like basically acquire these items, these big gems, hold on to them as they get higher and higher and higher in value. And then when the whole thing opens up at some point in the future, then you're going to see that happen on the new stuff that comes out, right? So it's really an interesting time for sure, right? And this is the thing about taking profits, right? So I know a lot of people are in NFTs just to take profits, right? And I find Veve as more of a collector space, okay? It's more of a space for us to like collect. So, we don't have those people in here yet that are just solely all about taking profits. There are people who are building their gem pool, and that's totally awesome, right? But the people that come into the NFT space who don't really care too much about the project itself, or don't really care too much about the collectible itself, they really just want to ride it up while the price goes high, and then they want to sell it and they want to get some money. And that's a totally cool thing to do. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've done that before with some projects, where I didn't feel too crazy about it, but I got in because it was going up, that kind of thing. We're not really seeing that with Veve though. People who are getting stuff after the drop are usually getting it because they're collectors and they want it. They do see value in it for sure. Like there's definitely a bunch of that kind of thing going on. But I think because it's a closed system and we can't take our money out of it yet, you have less of these people who are like just trying to take profits, right? And I think that's really healthy for the collection, for our collections, It's actually good that the doors are closed a little bit, because a lot of these people would just come in and like take a profit and then jump right out of the project, right? And that drives up the price, and then also it really drastically lowers the price, lowers the value of some of these. So it's really quite wild, right? If you go on OpenSea and you're involved in that, you'll know what I mean, right? This is another crazy thing about it, right? So I also really think that another point that I'm going to make is that because the app is closed and we can't take our gems out and take our money out, that we're kind of forced into investing, right? And we're forced to basically like make these tough decisions about how much money we're going to actually bring in and buy gems with, and what items we're actually going to hold on to, right? So it's like forcing us to like make these good choices, and so like you have to think long term. If you're in the app, you want to think about what's going to go up and what's really good to hold on to. And if it goes down a little bit, you're probably not just going to sell it off, right? If it goes up a huge amount, there's no temptation to like take that money and then put it in your bank account or whatever. And so in my opinion, in regards to just like building a collection, that's actually really positive. It's not positive in regards to wanting to have your money back out of the app. I mean, that's why people are on Facebook and other groups and other stuff like that doing like real world transactions with these items, and that's totally fair. I mean, like I said, I got no problem with anybody doing that. That's totally great. And when the app opens up, no problem at all. But at this beginning stage, in this first time, when I don't know how long this is going to be, we haven't got an announcement about when they're going to really open it up and let us, cash out and all that kind of stuff. We're actually forced to build a collection. And I actually think that that's really good because I'm in it for the long term. I know a lot of people are. I think that's the mentality you have to think about if you're in Veve, is maybe getting in for the long term and thinking ahead. And even when they do allow us to cash out, I would wait until there's a lot of users, because then we're going to have a lot of an easier time of cashing out. And so, that's another thought, right? That we're forced to kind of build this collection, because we can't really just, liquefy the whole thing unless you want to hold on to the gems, right? Which is totally great. Another thing that I think is actually going to happen, and this is when they actually cash out, is I think that, and I don't know if this is already happening yet, but I think the people who are holding on to the top collectibles in the app, like the partner statue and maybe the Todds and the Batmans and some of the other stuff that comes around, like the Star Wars collection, from the Golden Moments and all that kind of stuff, Steamboat Willie, right? These kind of collectibles that are going to be even higher level in 3 months from now. Spider-Man first appearance, all the stuff. I think there's a real opportunity where you'll probably see Discord groups, forming of people who actually own these items, like owners groups. Because, if you go on the OpenSea and you say you go into a project like the Alien Friends, for example, I'm an owner of an Alien Friend, right? And there's a whole Discord group just for those owners, right? And all those owners in there, there's 10,000 of them or whatever, in terms of how many there are available. And people own more than one and all that kind of stuff. And they chat and talk and they, there's whole stuff around that whole thing. I don't really think there's Discord groups yet for people who own Todds, for example. What if all the partner statue owners got together and said, you know what, let's form a Discord group where we verify our ownership, and then they can actually control the price or whatever of their golden moments, right, of their Walt statue, right? And these are kind of things that are going to actually develop as we are further along in the app, right? I don't believe anyone's really done that yet. If they have, it's probably small, or maybe they just haven't invited me because I don't own a partner statue. But anyway, the whole point is that this kind of stuff will happen as people try to hold on to their collectibles and assign value to them even more, once they open up the doors for cashing out. And then maybe even in those groups, they might even try to control the price where they agree, generally speaking, oh, let's not sell for below this, and that kind of stuff happens in the OpenSea, right? If you see a project that comes out, there are people in these Discord groups that they kind of coordinate a bit, and they don't want their project going down after they've invested so much real world money, right? So for now, we just have the gems. We just have the closed space, the doors aren't really open yet for everybody to just leave and cash out, which means if you come into Veve, right, you're going to have to know that you're going to be here for a while, right? And that's a good thing. I really think that the people that are in Veve and buying these collectibles, we're the ones that are actually going to be here a long time. At least this is the thought, I think, right? And you're getting a chance right now to build that collection before the prices start going a lot wilder on the new items. So like I said, if a new drop comes out and it's a pretty big drop, okay, whoever it is, let's just say I don't know, let's say a Pokemon comes out after they open up the doors, you're going to get a lot of people who participate in that event, that drop, and then the marketplace right after, who are going to ride it up and then take their profits and then cut out. That's going to happen, right? If they open it up, right? And so that's a good thing for some people, and that's a bad thing for collectors potentially. That's, who knows what it's like. I'm not making a judgment. I'm just saying that for some people, they'll love that, and some people, they won't love that. Now, if Pokemon came out next week, okay, on a drop, people are going to be acquiring them, okay? They're going to be holding them. They're going to get them. They're going to hold them. It's going to be sitting in their collection. And then in a few months from now or 6 months from now, when we're able to actually sell them and cash out, then they're going to be even higher in value, right? Because they would have already went up that cycle, and you wouldn't have had any of these people jumping in and out to take profits. You know what I mean? So anyway, those are my thoughts about that. I actually, like I said, I'll just reiterate, I think it's really good right now that we actually are in a closed system. I don't mind it at all. I've never had the urge to actually like cash out yet. I really want to see where this goes. Like I haven't put my life savings into Veve. I don't recommend anybody do that. Of course, everybody makes their own choices. Don't listen to me on that, like what you want to do with your money, and just do your thing, right? This is just my opinion, but I have no urge in cashing out right now. Like I've watched other YouTubers, like like a couple other great YouTubers that I like to follow is like Kobe Collects. Like when I was watching a lot of his live streams, when he does his giveaways, which are awesome, by the way, you should go to his channel and check them out. Some of the discussion that happens is like if somebody would offer you right now like 30,000 gems for your entire collection, $30,000, like, or whatever currency or country you live in, and they would offer that to you just for your whole collection right now, would you take it? Like, would you cash out? And most people that I've in the responses would say, no, I'm not doing that yet. It's too soon, right? It's too early. I'm going to wait on this. There's no worry about the value of these going way down, like before then. I think, we're all waiting. We're all like building. It's growing. We're just watching it grow in front of our eyes. And it's like, if you were into the Bored Apes, okay, and like early on in the project, you had like 3 of them. I mean, if somebody came along and you were able to sell out like right away, which you're able to sell them like, I don't know, a month into the project. I don't even know how much it was worth. Let's say it was worth like 2 Ethereums or whatever at that price, or Ethereums or ETH or whatever. Would you have sold it then? A lot of people did. A lot of people sold out, and a lot of people like didn't, and they waited, and they went up and up and up and up, and now like those are huge. So what if they were in a system where you couldn't sell out and they just kept going up and up and up? So any holder of that item, wasn't able to cash out. I mean, I think a lot of the people who did cash out would have probably really been thankful that they didn't. Although, everybody's different, so I can't really say that for sure. Some people need the money right away for all sorts of real life reasons, and there is no judgment about selling. Okay, I just want to put that out there. If you need to sell, then you need to sell, and that's, everyone's got their own situation. But generally speaking, like if you're forced to hold on to it, like an investment that you bought that you couldn't cash out for like a year, and it just went up because you couldn't cash it out. At the end of that year, if you're okay, I think that would be a really great benefit. And in my situation, that's sort of where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I don't mind that it's closed. I like it, actually. I like being able to have the stuff there, knowing that it's there, knowing that I don't have the temptation to sell it because I want to see something on OpenSea or some real world collectible that I want. I have to really think, okay, am I going to drop this $100, like US dollars? I'm in Canada, so it's actually more. Am I going to drop that into the app to get these gems to go after that collectible? Like, I have to really think about that, because once I put it in, it's not coming out, right? So, that's a good thing for me. That makes me even more clear about like every purchase I make, okay? And I think that's actually really, really good. It's good for me, okay, as a collector. This is me personally. I know who I am. I know what my tendencies are, as a toy collector and a sports card collector and a comic book collector. I've definitely FOMO'd into like real world collectibles, where I like spent more than I should have probably, or went after something when maybe my bank account wasn't the best, but then I could also sell it right away, which was good. I could then I always knew in my mind, well, I could probably sell it like on eBay or something. But in this app, I have to really think. I have to go, okay, am I going to go after that collectible? And I actually really like that discipline that the closed app has given us, okay? I think of it as a gift, okay? It's a gift that I have to really like plan what I'm doing and make sure that when I put money in, like out of my bank account or my credit card or whatever, that it's worth it, okay? And then it also makes me like work inside the app a little bit differently, where I'm like building my gems to go after stuff, by strategically buying certain things, right? So, and then strategically selling certain things in the app, but it all stays in the app. Every user is still in the app. you know, once you put your gems in there, they're in there, unless you sell at total losses all the time, then they dwindle. But that's the beautiful thing. We don't have any of these, you know, parachuting in and like skydiving out type people who are like, you know, only in it just to take profits and then leave. But we will get them eventually, and that's going to be a different system, and we're going to see what that's like. But in the meantime, all of our big collectibles, like I said, like Waltz and all these big stuff that we're able to acquire right now in this early stage, like I said, watch my video earlier about how lucky we are to be here at this time. All of those collectibles that we're building and keeping in our, you know, collection, that we're building our kind of vault, we're lucky to have those kind of now, because they're going up in value, and they're going up and up in value. And then when it's time, when we're able to cash out, people are going to definitely cash out and take profits on some of them for sure. And I think the value of them has kind of come down a bit, but it's not going to totally go like right to the floor like some of these projects on OpenSea. Some of the projects on OpenSea, you know, when this kind of a marketplace is open, when you can take your real world profits, they rise up, and then people just jump out and they take their money, and then, you know, people are left holding the collectibles and they're way down in value, and then a lot of these projects just die out over time. But because we got Marvel and we got comics and we got Disney, we got these big names and big brands, the app is forcing you to just hold on to them. Isn't that a good thing? I think it is. Anyway, please let me know what you think in the comments section below. I really want to know about what you think about not being able to cash out right now. I know it would be good for a lot of people to be able to get their money out, or to be able to sell and get some profit and use that money for all sorts of things that you need to use the money for. Eventually that will happen, you know, and then of course the taxes will come in and all these other things that we have to consider. So right now, you know, we're just in a spot where, you know, we're just acquiring, and acquiring to me is a really good thing. Okay, so let me know in the comments section. Hit like if you like the video, you know, subscribe if you like. You know, if you don't want to subscribe, that's cool. Hopefully I just see you in the next video. And follow me, like I said, on Instagram. I will follow you back. Okay, and you can see on Instagram some of the OpenSea projects that I've been involved in, that I purchased. I just, you know, usually post one when I get one. And I don't own all of them anymore. Some of them I've sold, you know, because, you know, the projects sometimes they die. If there's any Marvel NFTs or Disney NFTs on OpenSea like that, I think those projects would be massive, and these Veve ones will be as well, right? Anyway, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you have an awesome day. You know, yeah, let me know what you think. Let everybody else know what you think. Let's get the conversation going. And yeah, happy collecting.